The stage is set. History is waiting. 4 nations stood on the brink of greatness, but only 2 have marched on for a chance to lift football's most coveted trophy. On today's episode, we relive the action and break down the defining moments on the road to the 2026 FIFA World Cup final. I'm your host, Simon Preston, and welcome to another exciting episode of the Sports Club FIFA Pitch World Cup podcast.
This broadcast is brought to you by Ray & Nephew, Flow, Just Bet, Sunshine Snacks, JN Bank, and Western Sports, your hub for official World Cup kits.
Let me introduce our panel of analysts for this episode's discussion. We have Brian Pitta, Rashid Parchment, and Daniel Blake. Gentlemen, thank you very much once again for being on this episode. We really appreciate it. Let's look back at the semi-finals, the one that perhaps is most freshest in our brain. Brian, England, Argentina. Let's start there.
I'm interested to hear what you have to say. You're the English fan on the panel. And I can only imagine as an England fan. You got the lead 55 minutes. You're expecting, you go on, get one more, try and maintain it, push Argentina to the last minute. And what do? You sit on the lead and you concede possession to one of the strongest finishers in the tournament. Argentina are famous for how they play in the last 15 to 20 minutes of the game, and I'm just very surprised that Thomas Tuchel would take that approach. I'm sure we'll talk more about it, but yeah, as an England fan, I'll be very devastated watching that game.
Yeah, certainly was despondent at full time. Rashid, the first 10-15 minutes looked more like a rugby match than a football match.
I'd say the first half. Only a handful of players came to actually, maybe not even a handful, like 1 or 2 players came to actually play football. Elliot Anderson, Romero. But other than that, everybody else was just trying to kick lumps out of each other. I knew it would be a physical game. But thankfully, that changed in the second half. The first half, there weren't that many chances. I thought the best chance of that first half came from Enzo Fernandez, who fired over the bar. But it's good that at halftime both coaches went in, and before the coaches went in, I saw the referee talking to both Harry Kane and Messi and perhaps telling them to calm their players down because it's a semi-final, it's a big occasion. We don't want to see me pulling out 2 yellow cards or a red card. So I don't know what was said at halftime, but a game of football broke out in the second half. So I'm glad for that.
Daniel, were England too passive after taking the lead? Did it feel like a laid-back approach from you, or Argentina capitalized after the water break?
I just think that Tuchel took one situation and made a mountain out of it. So right after Anthony Gordon scored, Simeone was through on goal, and I remember Jed Spence had made that last-ditch tackle. I think Tuchel after that thought, all right, this is going to happen more often, rather than thinking that it was an isolated situation. Because after that, it was like, let's lock it down after the water break, going for the likes of Dan Burn, Konsa, and then you take out your best defensive midfielder in Declan Rice, who I know wasn't 100%, but if that's him not at 100%, that's a lot. And I think once you change that mindset, you are giving yourself trouble. And Argentina actually came alive when England went to that back five, which puzzled me, and they started to have a lot more freedom in the middle of the park. So Enzo Fernandez was starting to take those shots, and even the winning goal, it was Alexis McAllister who fired from the edge of the 18, hits the post, I believe, and it ends up getting recycled. So I think it was more of I don't want to necessarily use the word a cowardice mindset, but it's a mindset of that we need to win this World Cup at all costs. The pressure, the weight of it, we need to get to the final. It's been since 1966. And he fell in love with the strategy that he employed against Norway and Mexico. and it ends up falling really flat. And I think even though he said he has no regrets, it's one of those situations where 20 years time you're on a podcast and they ask you what's your biggest regret. I think this probably goes down as one of his biggest.
Yeah.
Brian, a semi-final run for England at the tournament, is that considered an underachievement or based on the quality that they have, maybe par from?
No, I said it the last episode, if England don't win, it is a failure. It is, in my opinion, it is a failure because you've reached the semi-final in 2018. The last two European Championships, you've reached the final. Even before 2018, you've always been touted as that team to nearly do it, right? Here we have Thomas Tuchel. Prior to the tournament, he had a lot of changes in terms of the selection process, which is not similar to what previous coaches have done, and he got a lot of flack for it. And we gave him a lot of praises in terms of his in-game management in previous knockout games and how he used those personnel and to his advantage. But I really think that, he didn't do his homework on Argentina. And if anybody who knows Argentina, as I said, they know that in the last 15 to 20 minutes, they will come at you relentlessly. You don't want to concede possession to them. It was obvious that England had control or more control than they did, obviously, in the last 20 minutes before they scored and up until they scored. They looked really good. They looked good going forward. They were keeping the ball. But then the substitutions just broke the rhythm, and mentally I feel like they faltered. So it is a failure based on how they lost it, and it's a failure just by the fact that they didn't even reach the final this time around.
Rashid, Argentina, they were ringing in the changes. They had a triple change at one point. It never felt like a time for panic, but they were just going through the motions, making the adjustments, and the 2 goals came eventually.
Yeah, and to go back to Tuchel, I thought he was a bit arrogant to think that you know what Argentina possess off the bench. You know that they can run at you. That you know that they're gonna be pressing you hard, deep into the match. To go defensive when he did, I think it was silly. Like, didn't you watch the previous games with Argentina to see what they did against Cabo Verde, what they did against Egypt, what they did against Switzerland? Argentina, though, they have to talk about the intangibles, the invaluables. It's not just about technique. It's about that spirit and that belief in knowing that when the backs are against the wall, they can pull it off. They'll find a way to pull it off, and they trust in each other to do it. It's the same way they got through to the 2022 World Cup, and at this point it just looks inevitable from them. But you ask Brian if it's par or not. It is par, but at this point when you're England, par is not good enough because you've gone to two Euro finals, you've gone to a semi-final of the World Cup. This is expected. They didn't hire Thomas Tuchel to do expected. They hired him to do something different, to carry this team further. So to not carry the team further, I think it's a failure.
Brian, of course, Daniel will have another episode when we look at the final itself, but we've spoken about Argentina, heart, soul, passion, tenacity. We've spoken about so often, but is that enough to get over the line?
No, but Messi is enough to get over the line. It sounds so simple, but when you have Messi, there is a feeling that even if you're 6-0 down in the 95th minute, there's a potential of you winning 6-5 or 10-9 or something like that. The way that he operates, he operates on his own terms. He does things that will even surprise you. For example, the winning goal. Like, how many times do you see Messi whipping in a cross with his right foot? And I think that's one of the surprising things about him, is that he's not afraid to take certain risks, even when it doesn't call for it. And I think once you are able to have Messi on your team, it boosts everybody. Like, that's one of the reasons why there is not much panic, because they know that they have this man out there. Now, you go up against the best defensive team, not just in the tournament, but in the world, who have the best tournament record over the past 2 years. So it's going to be tough, but I mean, once you have Messi, I believe all things are possible.
Let's see how that will go. Rashid, let's switch focus to the other semi-final. The French, what happened? Was it a situation where their attack was neutralized? They have an off day? How do you think about the French?
Well, let me start by answering that by talking about the Spanish. You've heard me say before on this podcast that what I like about Luis De La Fuente is that he'll get an early goal and he'll shut it down.
Right.
And once he shuts it down, it's difficult to come back into the game. That penalty that they got early on, before, I think it was in the 9th minute or something, that killed the game because that's all they needed to, and then they took control of the midfield, plugged it, and they basically set a rat trap for Michael Olise because he was playing more centrally, and he didn't have the space to really move around and show his craft like he normally does. Dembele, on the other hand, same issue on the flank. He just couldn't get space. And that's what Spain is known for doing. That's why Spain is so good at defending, and that's why Spain just are hard to lose. And I don't think, I've seen people saying France were bad. I don't think France even got the chance to be bad because they neutralized them so much. France just couldn't do anything they wanted to do. So it's not like France came out and were bad and then Spain capitalized. Spain didn't give a chance to France to do anything they wanted to do.
I think that's the other shocker, right? People probably thought France just didn't turn up, but really it was just a very, very impressive performance by the Spaniards. Perhaps the best team performance of the entire tournament so far, in the way they were able to neutralize such a very threatening attack, an attack that has looked so dangerous for the entire tournament. And I must say, I guess I wouldn't say I owe them an apology. They proved me wrong. I did say multiple times that I just didn't think they had what it takes to really get to the final. They've looked solid. They've been one of the best teams, statistically. But in terms of how they've played in the previous 2 years, winning the Euros, Nations League, going to the finals, they just didn't seem to reach, fifth gear or whatever.
They didn't even need to.
Yeah, they didn't even need to. But the way in which they just made France look so average, kudos to them. Kudos to them.
Daniel, there's a moment in the game that there's a lot of talking point about, and that was Yamal and his challenge on Mbappe. I just wanted to get your personal take on it. Many persons said it should have been red. Many persons are saying the opposite. Just wanted to get your take on that particular decision. Doesn't matter.
No, I mean, in the end, yes, Spain were very good, but the moment Rabiot got that yellow card, I knew that the game was over.
Wow.
Because I knew that Deschamps would have a greater fear of going down to 10 men rather than winning the game. And I think that's why when managers take certain risks, you have to give them credit for it. Unlike Tuchel, he was thinking about the greater fear of losing rather than, the joy of winning. Deschamps at halftime decides that he's going to bring on Kone, against the best defense. Have virtually two number sixes. You have Mbappe as a number 9 who took only one shot, which I believe came close to stoppage time. And there was just nothing clicking. There was no control. You had Dean at left back who was struggling with Porro and Yamal on that side rather than going for Theo Hernandez, who had the pace and physicality. But team selection, team tactics, I believe, just didn't help. But again, when you go up against a team like Spain, who have shown against France over the years that they are a formidable force, it's just very hard to accept.
But despite Spain being so dominant, I did expect France to at least show some ounce of fight, some ability to come back into the game. We saw them in the 2022 final when they were 2-0 down with the last 15 minutes. They came back 2-2. Where was that, in this match? I know that, they barely had the ball. They couldn't really get their rhythm going, but they just seemed nervous at times. They made a lot of sloppy passes. They gave away the ball a lot. They just didn't really seem mentally damaged.
Yeah, and that's what happens when you have literally two number 6s on the field. And I'm not going to put it solely down to them, but you are now attacking with 3 players short. And then one thing that, you spoke about that 2022 final, remember he brought on Kolo Muani, so it allowed Mbappe to drift to the left and Muani could go down the middle and there could be like a changing.
Yeah.
He brings on Due stays on the left, Mbappe is just waiting for the ball in the middle. And it was only until stoppage time when he started to drift to the left and try to take on Cucurella. You saw, wait, why wasn't he there before or anything like that? So I think that this is a hard lesson to learn for Zidane, who is going to be the manager, because I think missing out on 2 consecutive finals when you are almost there is very hard to take. So you're going to have to try and find a way to get over the hump the next time, because people are going to look at you and say, well, we've been to 3 of the last semi-finals, 2 finals. What can you do? I
think one similarity between 2 games were 2 substitutions that should have happened and took too long to happen.
Mateta.
Not even that. I'm talking about 2 players looking lethargic. I don't know if you remember me saying one of the poorest individual performances I saw in the tournament was Casemiro versus Japan. Yeah. Was it Japan? Yeah, Japan.
Yeah. Round of 32.
Yeah.
First off.
Yeah. And I thought we got a similar performance from Dean. He was slow, he was sluggish, and he was not going up and down the flank. And even the goal that Poro scored, France just stood around and watched him. I didn't think anybody was moving enough, and I thought France lost something because Dina was so immobile. They weren't having any support overlapping on the channels, and I thought he would have subbed him at halftime, even though he took out Rabiot. I thought that would have happened. And in the England game, clearly Declan Rice was struggling. Declan Rice has played maybe 80 games for both club and country over the last year.
He's done. Yeah. He's tired.
And he's tired. He's just walking on his feet, and I thought a sub would have been made there to introduce some sprightliness into the game, and neither coach did that, and I think that hurt them in the second half of both games.
Interesting. Rashid, I have to throw this back at you. I asked Brian in relation to England. France not getting to a final, is that seen as failure or disappointment or underachievement based on the quality that they have as well in their disposal? Final 2022, final 2018, quarter-final 2014, first round exit 2010.
It would be seen as a failure, but I don't think it's a catastrophic failure, because given the opponent they lost to, Spain is making this an annual thing to beat them. This is the 3rd straight year they've beaten them. It must be annoying to keep losing to the same opponent. So I think that's where it would sting, but I wouldn't say it's a failure where they need to stop and rejig and overhaul and
reinvent the wheel.
Exactly. They don't need to do that. I think,
it's a failure because of how they lost. They were completely outplayed.
Yeah.
And this team was touted as the best team heading into the tournament. So how can the best team look so average against, of Spain, filled with quality, yes. But we didn't see the quality from France that we have been seeing all tournament. What happened? Why did they lose like that? I'm sure there's going to be an inquest.
Even in the past, when they lost to Spain, the previous 2 games to Spain,
they weren't impressive either. Yes, they were 5-1.
But they're still attacking.
Yes, but just the overall performance it's massively disappointing. By the way, they lost. Massively disappointing.
Yeah. Gentlemen, let's head over to the game that many persons might say is the wooden spoon game that will be taking place in Miami on Saturday. It's a game that has taken place, and if you look at ever since the 2002 World Cup, we average out close to 4 goals a game in this fixture. Yeah. And yes, this is the 3rd place playoff that we're talking about. England again, just like in 2018, and of course France again. Daniel, many said it should have been the final. France, England, it should have been the final. That's the word out on the
road. Maybe on your road.
Yeah, that's true. But like a game of this nature, how do you feel about still having this game as a game, or after semi-final? Honestly, that should be it.
I've always said a 3rd place match in football is the most pointless match of all the tournaments. I understand that you might have prize money on the line and that type of thing, but
it's a medal around your neck as well.
Nobody wants that medal.
Right away.
They usually just hold it for the pity claps when they go to the fans, and no one remembers who finishes 3rd.
Except Belgium in 2018.
Remember 2014?
Yeah,
a lot of people talk about the Germany semi-final, but let's not forget that Brazil got whopped in that 3rd place game
by the Dutch
as well. But no one remembers it because the 3rd place game isn't a memorable game unless you are a minnow. So for example,
Turkey
if
2002.
this was and Morocco and those things, these are games that you probably look forward to say, I was the third best team in the world. But if you are France with the talent that you have, if you are England with all the expectations that you have, finishing third is good, but it is far from where you want to be. Now, I don't know if the managers say, all right, let's give everybody a chance. Or maybe they say, Mbappe, you want to go for the golden boot, go for it. Kane, Bellingham, you want, go for it. But I don't think that the players are going to be overly motivated after going through such an emotional toil over the next few days.
Yeah, I would say the same thing. 'Cause both of these teams are filled with players who would have expected to go to the final. And it's going to be interesting to see how they approach it. But you know, I agree with Daniel. It's an uninteresting game, but for this particular fixture, as you said, Simon, it's always filled with goals. And I guess from a neutral perspective, from a fan of the game, you would probably be looking forward to that and the entertainment aspect of it. But really and truly, all we're thinking about is the final.
I mean, it's a game in this situation. It's a game nobody cares about. But that doesn't mean I think it should be scrapped though, because 2002 it was Korea-Turkey. Last World Cup 2022 it was Morocco and Croatia. Yeah. Now there is a chance that you can have a smaller team that didn't expect to get this far getting into that game, and it means the world to them. Just look at the parade that was held in Belgium after they finished third. Right. So for that reason, I wouldn't scrap it. I don't care about this game, but it depends on who is there. But what if 2030 it's Cabo Verde? We saw how they played this World Cup. What if they can push and get to that stage next time? It would mean something to them. So for that reason, you can't scrap it.
But aren't you the one who say you don't support 48 teams because there are too many small nations?
That has nothing to do with 48 teams though.
Meaning there could be
small teams went through without it being 48 teams. Korea and Japan went there when it was only 32. It doesn't need to be 48
teams. It's going to be 64.
Possibly next World Cup. Possibly next World Cup.
So. Yeah. But the size of the World Cup doesn't matter. You can still have a minnow can go there and it will mean the world to them.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. We'll see how the future progresses and if we'll get to that stage 64 quite soon or 48 the next World Cup. And again, a reminder to the viewers, the Women's World Cup is also going to see an increase as well to 48 for the 2031 tournament as well. So a lot of
enhancements. It should be co-hosted in Jamaica, right?
Yeah.
Should be. Yeah.
Okay.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah. So a lot to that lies ahead. And there's a reason why folks are asked the question about the third place questions, because our experts here are going to get into it in the quiz quite shortly, so we want to stay tuned for that. But before that, we do have our rapid fire questions. Brian, we're going to start about the third place game. Which manager has the tactical edge?
After what Tuchel did today, if he's still in the England job, well,
he will be.
They're gonna finish it out to them.
The tactical edge, I'd say Deschamps.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
Rashid. It's
I don't think it matters anymore about what the managers do. It's this game is just something for the players who were sitting on the bench to get a chance to show what they can do. Ivan Toney will probably get a full match now.
Over Kane?
Yeah. What?
Over Kane or starting with Kane?
Yeah, you're right.
Kane is going for the golden boot. Yeah.
So for that reason, you might see Kane again. But I don't know. It's probably Tuchel's last game. It doesn't really matter.
Well, they want him for Euro 2028. We'll see.
No, man, he's not surviving, man. 100%.
And Deschamps is gone too. So it's two outgoing managers. So they're just gonna we'll see. Guys have fun.
Daniel, who scores first in this game? Which team would score first, you think? Toss of a coin. Heads or tails?
England.
There we go. Good job. Brian, the better goalkeeper of the two teams?
I mean, France haven't really conceded that much goals, but
yeah.
So statistically, I'll pick Gun. That's how you pronounce his name. But Pickford is a really good shot stopper. He had some really good saves in this game today and in the last game.
Yeah, you never know.
I'd give Pickford the edge, to be honest. Yeah.
Okay.
I'd give Pickford the edge.
You never know. Henderson might even play that game. You never know.
Well, yeah, true.
Rashid, do you have a preference on who finishes third or not? Or it doesn't affect the price of bread for you?
It doesn't. I'm as an Arsenal fan, I just don't want to see my players in this game. A meaningless game. Let them just sit on the bench and rest.
Rice probably start again.
Yeah, don't.
So Eze, Saka, Rice, you wouldn't want them at all.
No. Featured
Noni.
other people in the team that didn't have a sniff. But
But
I
you
don't
know,
know.
even pre-season they would have to sit out as well.
Yeah. But it's still rest. It's still not running and risking injury. If I have to pick a winner, I would want France because based on what I saw, the treatment of France, I wanted France to walk away from this competition with their heads held high. Because how the Paraguayans treated them, how the Argentinians treated them in years before, how the Spanish PM has been talking about them. I don't want them to go to this competition with the last 2 games being losses. So France for me.
Okay. Well, everybody knows who Daniel wants to win that game, and everybody knows who I want to win that game. So that question basically answers itself. So we'll go straight to the quiz now, folks. And this week we start with Rashid. Rashid, who won the 3rd place playoff at the 98 World Cup?
Croatia.
Against the Netherlands in 98, Croatia won that game. That is correct.
Yeah.
Yep, Croatia won. Brian, who won the 3rd place playoff at the 2010 World Cup in South Africa? Which country got the bronze medal at the 2010 FIFA World Cup?
Okay, so
2010.
Spain and Netherlands go final.
That's right. Who lost the semi-finals?
I don't remember, you know. I just go to guess.
A European team that is always there.
Germany.
That is correct.
Oh, wow.
They did
Lucky.
defeat Uruguay. Yeah, defeat Uruguay in that 3rd place game. That is true.
Cool.
Daniel, who won the 3rd place game at the 2014 World Cup? I laugh because he spoke about it literally 2 minutes ago. But yeah.
So I can just get a point for that.
No, you have to say it again. You know what I mean?
The Netherlands.
That is correct. All right, so we go on now. Brian, the final in 1930 was between which 2 countries? So which 2 countries played the final that year?
1930 was the first World Cup, so
Right.
Uruguay won. So Uruguay is one of them. No, Italy won. Also?
No, Uruguay won the 1930 World
Yeah,
Cup.
Uruguay won the 1930.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just who they played in
your
the
pause
final.
threw me off a while ago. So I would say Uruguay and Italy.
I want to give him another opportunity. Should I do that?
Yes, you should.
Well,
All right.
yeah.
If it's not Italy,
Yeah.
I would say Hungary.
Good guess. It was Argentina in the final. They won 4-2.
Oh, okay.
Good effort, yeah.
Which is why we're going down to 6 host countries in 2030.
Right, because of the 100-year anniversary of the World Cup.
Ridiculous.
Mm.
Man.
Daniel, the final in 1966 was between which 2 countries?
Come on. Come on, Simon.
I don't know. He might.
No, I don't. I just know England win it.
No, but that's... I can't tell the answer.
My brain is frozen.
All right,
Completely
cool.
frozen.
West
All right.
German.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't give it to Brian, but that is the answer, though.
There we go.
Phantom goal.
Rashid was probably in high school when this happened. The final in 94 was between which 2 countries?
Brazil and Italy.
Yeah, that's
I was
correct.
in high school, but that was my first goal.
All right, great. So we go on to the next section. Daniel, name 2 players on the England squad, in this World Cup squad, that have Jamaican ancestry. 2 players.
Marcus is one,
Good job. One more.
and I believe Morgan is one as well.
Good job.
Question them easy this week, man.
You could have said Nico
Compensated
O'Reilly as
last
well,
week.
Ollie Watkins. You could have said Jude,
I certainly could
Ivan
have.
Toney,
Jed Spence.
and Jed Spence.
I certainly could have.
Absolutely. So Daniel is up to 4, Rashid has 4, and Brian has 2.
Also?
Yeah. We'll go to Brian now. Brian, name 2 players on the Canada team who have Jamaican heritage. 2 players on the Canada national team. At this World Cup, of course.
Hutchinson still play for them? No.
Atiba.
No.
But he's not Jamaican. No.
No, he's Trini, but I'm not going to count that for you.
I don't know, so I'm
Alright.
just going to guess.
One of the guys scored a goal at this tournament. One of the guys is a defender. One of the guys is a fast winger.
Yeah. Two of them in attack, actually.
Yes, that is correct. Try to think about the Bosnia game.
Yeah. Scored in the Bosnia game.
Sorry, man. My brain is fried right now. I don't know.
All right, Kyle Larin.
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, so his dad is Jamaican. Tajan Buchanan, his mom is Jamaican.
I think that's the name I was trying to remember, Buchanan. Well, I never knew Lauren was Jamaican.
And Derek Cornelius, the centre back.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Rashid, name 2 players on the USA squad who have Jamaican heritage. 2 in the
Tim
USA.
Weah.
That's 1.
And why am I bringing gone blank and all I can picture is Tim Ream now?
Definitely not.
Definitely not, yeah.
Tim Weah and why is my brain blank?
Pulisic.
Definitely not.
Well on.
Well, if he marries a Jamaican, he can get a Jamaican passport.
Who's the other one? Jeez.
All right, one of them was born in England. Has played in the EPL. This player. He was born in England. Jamaican dad, American mom, born in England.
Hey, Monique, how much time we have left?
Oh. Is he on the wing? No?
Yeah, no. He plays at the back. He has an interesting first name.
Is not Tillman?
It's not Tillman, no, he's a German.
No, I don't know.
All right. So one guy is Mark McKenzie,
Yes.
and another guy is Anthony Robinson.
Robinson.
Yeah.
He is Jamaican, the same?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really?
It's a small world. Yeah, this World Cup, folks, had 26 players of Jamaican heritage. So roughly 2% of the World Cup squads are players of Jamaican heritage, which essentially means 1 of every 50 players at the World Cup have Jamaican heritage. So that's basically the breakdown. So that means we have to go to a tiebreaker. And whoever answers the question right, they'll be this week's winner.
Between Rashid and Daniel? Or all of us?
All of you.
Okay.
So there's 2 countries that haven't been at the World Cup since 98. One of them we know which is. So basically I'm asking who's the
Jamaica.
other country. So what I'm asking is who is the other country?
This was said before. We did talk about this like 2 weeks ago.
This country is a European country. And this is a
Wait,
country.
Romania.
They played in this. You said they haven't been at the World Cup since 19, so they didn't play in this World Cup.
Exactly.
Right.
Jamaica and Romania.
Good job.
Romania.
Mm.
How can I guess that?
Not I guess. Remember them.
Yeah. I should have said there was 2 more. So Bulgaria and Romania. Well done. Well done, Rashid. This is not a brown envelope, but this is an envelope of the prize.
I'm only this Solan or Rashid get prize and I'll know me can't get no prize.
So basically, the information I received that is for Rashid, but what is for Daniel and what is for Brian, that will be given off.
I'm seeing the prize.
What do you
and
mean
I'm
by
just
off here?
laughing.
No, we need to go talk to the producer.
No, but the producer's working extremely hard, so trust me, she's working on it. Yeah.
Oh, open it. I want to see
yeah,
We're not going to open it. We're not going to open it here. Off here.
No,
I promise you.
I think it should open.
I promise you it's legal to
I
open.
think it should
I
open.
promise you that one, so not a problem. Yeah. What does it say on it?
I owe you 1 gift.
That must be from our producer, right?
There you
Yeah,
go.
that's
see,
our
folks?
producer's idea.
So
Very
we have
funny,
the points.
very funny producer.
I'm thinking a jersey can't fit in this envelope.
Well, folks, the semi-finals are in the books, but the story isn't over. The final chapter is still waiting to be written. A big thank you to our panel for sharing their insights, and to you as well for joining us as we continue this incredible journey to the final of the 2026 FIFA World Cup. Join us next time as we crown a champion and relive the moments that will define this unforgettable tournament. Bye-bye for now.
This broadcast was brought to you by Ray and Nephew, Flow, Just Bet, Sunshine Snacks, JN Bank, and Western Sports, your hub for official World Cup kits.